Seatbelt clicked and the holster punched me right in the gut. Again, I shifted in the truck like I had ants in my pants, and the cashier still caught it. Gave me that little look like, dude, you okay? Yeah, I looked stupid. That's the whole problem with comfortable carry. Most of the internet talked about comfort like it meant soft shooting or nice grip. Bullshit. Comfort meant I wore it from breakfast to bedtime and didn't spend the whole day adjusting, tugging, wincing, or planning my next bathroom trip like a tactical operation. So this list came from real days. Errands, driving, bending over, sweating, sitting in plastic chairs that hated me. If a gun made me fidget, it got kicked out. One of these saved me from quitting carry after a bad day, and the one at the top fixed everything I hated, then left me with a different problem I still don't like. Sweat showed up fast. Shirt stuck to my back, hands slick, everything felt greasy in about 5 minutes. Buddy stood next to me and started running his pistol like normal. 2 strings in, he paused, flexed his fingers, and muttered something pissed off about his grip. The gun kept shifting on him just enough that he had to re-grip mid-string. Not a full drop, not a disaster, just that constant little slip that steals your attention and wrecks your rhythm. His hits went wide, and he knew exactly why. I didn't have that problem with the Taurus G2C, and before I ever fired it that day, it had already survived the part that ruins cheaper carry guns for me. Sweaty waistband, damp shirt, and that cheap gun feeling where everything starts rubbing wrong by lunchtime. Same heat, same sweat, same rushed pace. The G2C just sat there in my hand like it had a job and didn't want the conversation. I ran the drill, ran it again, and I never had to do that stupid fix it while you're shooting thing. No fidgeting, no reset. I stayed on sights and trigger instead of babysitting the grip. That's why it made this comfort list. Not because it felt fancy, because it asked for almost nothing while my body turned gross and distracted. Then the ego hit landed. My buddy glanced at the Taurus, glanced back at his gun, and went quiet. I hated how good that felt. The P365 X Macro wasn't shy. Under a thin shirt, that grip liked to announce itself the second my setup got lazy. One bad bend, one weird twist, and I felt it, like the gun was daring me to pretend it disappeared. It didn't. Not like that. One of those long training days was when it clicked for me. Not some tactical cosplay circus. Normal people on gravel, draw from concealment, reholster, load mags, wait for the next drill, do it again, hour after hour until everybody got quiet and you stopped talking shit. That was the day I quit judging comfort just by how a gun sat on my belt. Tiny pistols felt cute at first because they barely weighed anything. Then the reps stacked up. Grip felt cramped. Follow-ups got snappy. My hands started getting tired in that ugly way nobody mentions when they're bragging about concealment. The X Macro didn't do that, and when the class dragged on, I noticed something else too. I wasn't peeling the holster off my side between drills, just to breathe. It stayed slim on the belt. So it didn't feel like I strapped on a duty brick, but when I started running it hard, it didn't make me work for clean follow-up shots either. Less snap, better control, less hand fatigue. The 17-round capacity mattered because the gun felt less like a compromise, more like a compact trimmed down for carry. Still, if you got sloppy, it printed. And that little reminder stuck with me because after that class, smaller pistols started feeling nervous. Last month, the safe door sat open and I stood there like an idiot, doing math in my head. All day errands, no range, no testing. Just morning until almost dark. And the question was simple. Do I carry the Hellcat Pro all day? Or do I grab something smaller and spend the whole day pretending I don't hate it? Because that's the trade. Tiny guns disappear right up until you need a full grip and you get that stupid little 2-finger handful that makes your stomach tighten. So I took the Springfield Armory Hellcat Pro, appendix, plain hoodie, and I ran it through a real day. In and out of the truck 100 times. Seatbelt on, seatbelt off. bending into the cab, gas station, grocery store, long checkout line where you're trapped, and somebody always stands too damn close. Bottom shelf reach. Sit. Stand. Sit again. And the weird part hit around lunch. I wasn't touching it. No constant shirt tug, no belt hike. It stayed flat. It didn't roll and drag my pants down like a lot of almost compact guns do. Then that crowded line moment, my hand went down for a grip, and it felt like a real gun, not a tiny panic handle. That was the part I couldn't ignore. Still, leaning forward in the truck, I knew it was there. It didn't vanish, it just stopped being a problem. And honestly, that irritated me. Stall door barely latched and somebody outside rattled the handle like they were late for a flight. That was the day the Walther PDP Compact earned respect from me, and it had nothing to do with shooting. Public bathroom, bad stall, belt tension changed, and I felt that sick little shift, holster wanting to roll and twist, turning a normal moment into a whole situation. That's the least glamorous carry test, and it exposes easy on paper guns fast. I carried smaller pistols that should have been easier. Some of them get top light or weird shaped, and the second your belt loosens, the whole rig gets nervous. At that point, I don't care what they shoot like. I just need the gun to behave. The PDP Compact behaved. The weight sat predictable. Not sinking, not tipping, not trying to climb out of position. The shape gave the holster something solid to clamp onto, so I wasn't doing that stupid stall dance with one hand on my belt like a rookie trying not to drop his dignity on the tile. That's what pushed it above the Hellcat Pro for me. This one didn't just carry, it made me stop thinking about the holster. Downside? If my setup got lazy, it reminded me. Cheap holster and thin shirt, and I paid for it. After that, I tried something that disappeared better, and it came with a different kind of headache. The HKVP9 SK sat on the table, and my first thought was, this chunky thing is going to need a better cover shirt, because that's how it goes. Solid in the hand usually meant annoying on the body. More shirt checking, more adjusting, more of that stupid little concealment puzzle where you dress for the gun instead of just leaving the house. I didn't do any of that. Light shirt, no jacket, no overshirt, nothing built around hiding it, just normal clothes in a normal day. And that's where the VP9 SK surprised me. It had presence, yeah, but it rode steady. Steady was the word that kept coming back. It didn't bounce when I walked. It didn't yank my belt uneven. It didn't shift into some weird angle that made me keep touching it like a nervous tick. The weight was there, but it felt calm instead of irritating. That's comfort a lot of people miss. Some guns disappear, but feel twitchy all day. This one sat there and behaved, so my brain stopped managing it. I'm not selling magic under really thin clothing. The thickness still showed if I got careless. The next one wasn't about steady, it was about a gun that felt slick and made me check myself every 10 minutes anyway. 2 hours into desk work, it hit me. My hand hadn't gone to my waistband once. No adjustment, no shirt tug, no shifting in the chair, like I had a rock in my pants, just work. And that's when I realized the Ruger RXM was either behaving or it was about to ruin my mood like every other fine for 20 minutes carry gun. Because I judged it the second I saw it, especially with an optic and a light. In my head, I was already talking trash. Feels fine. Then every edge starts biting. Then the day got boring in the worst way. Desk chair, lean forward to type, twist sideways. Stand up, sit back down, reach for something, scoot the chair, repeat. That loop is where a lot of pistols turn into one sharp hot spot you can't unfeel once it starts. The RXM didn't do that. Yeah, I noticed it at first. It had presence, but it didn't get worse. The pressure didn't dump into one stabbing corner. It spread out. It sat flatter against me than I expected. Not invisible, just not trying to pick a fight with me. Only thing I didn't love was the setup. Wrong holster or that light sitting proud, and it stopped feeling clever real fast. So yeah, it passed the chair test, but it reminded me comfort can disappear the second your setup gets cocky. The FN Reflex is still a small carry gun, and some people hate that right out of the gate. They want more to hang on to. Different grip shape, something that fills the hand. Fair. The Reflex didn't magically turn into a full size just because it carried nice. Now, Texas taught me where comfort actually matters. One crowded indoor event, the kind you walk into and immediately regret, because everybody's shoulder to shoulder and moving like cattle. You're sliding sideways through tight gaps, bumping elbows, shirt brushing strangers, and every reflective surface in the building turns into a damn mirror test. That's where carry gets mentally loud. Most guns start that loop in my head. Did it shift? Is the grip printing? Why'd my shirt snag? Then comes the stupid stuff. Little shirt tugs, half turns near glass doors, that constant act normal routine that makes you look anything but normal. The FN Reflex didn't do that to me the same way. At first, I was aware of it because I'm always aware of a new carry gun. But after a while, it felt settled. Not gone. Settled. Like it found its spot and stayed put while the crowd kept pressing and the room kept closing in. And once that happened, my brain moved on. No paranoid shirt checking every 5 minutes. No scanning reflections like I was trying to catch myself slipping. That's the top half difference. Lower guns didn't dig. This one bought me real stretches where comfort stopped being something I noticed and started being something I trusted. Counter edge tapped my hip right after New Year in an Austin shop, and I did that instinctive flinch, then realized nothing happened. That's the whole point of the Glock 48. Most carry guns chase small. The 48 chased thin and flat, and that changes how you move through real places. That shop was packed, narrow aisles, people sliding past each other, elbows and jackets brushing, everybody funneling toward the glass like cattle. With a lot of pistols, that's when you start guarding your side, turning sideways, doing that little shirt pull, moving like you're protecting a bruise because the gun's pushing outward and you feel it trying to catch on everything. 48 didn't do that. It sat closer to my body. Not gone, just not sticking out like a handle begging to get bumped. I leaned over the counter, shifted around displays, squeezed past a guy who refused to move, and I didn't get that hard lever feeling, where the gun becomes the first thing that contacts the world. The weird part hit later. I walked out, ran a couple more stops around town, and hours went by before I even thought about it again. I didn't check it. I didn't manage it. I forgot it was there. That's a top 3 win. Comfort stopped being something I noticed and turned into something that blended into my body like it belonged there. People got close enough that you started doing that normal social stuff, leaning in to hear somebody, sliding past a doorway, sitting shoulder to shoulder at a table, reaching over plates without thinking. And that's where most carry guns screw you. Not with pain. With behavior, one little shirt tug, then another. Then you angle your body weird, you stop moving natural. You start performing around the gun like everybody's watching, even when nobody cares. I hate that. The M&P Shield Plus didn't pull me into that. It carried clean. Light enough that walking around didn't feel like my belt was arguing with me. Thin enough that when somebody stepped in close, my brain didn't fire off that oh hell panic. And when I sat down or leaned forward, it didn't give me that hard little reminder against my side that turns into a mood. Hours went by before it even crossed my mind again. That's not just comfortable, that's dangerous comfort. The kind where you stop checking, stop adjusting, stop thinking about it at all, and you start trusting it without meaning to. That's the FOMO part. Most people never realize how much they're managing their carry gun until they wear one that doesn't ask for attention. Hand fit still matters on small guns. If it doesn't agree with you, none of this happens. What sits above it isn't quieter in a crowd. It's a different kind of comfort, one that feels wrong until you live with it. The PX4 Storm didn't feel like a winner at first. It felt like a question. Sitting there, looking at it, I remember thinking, this is really going to be the comfort pick because it doesn't look like the obvious answer. It's not the slimmest. It's not the trendiest. It's not built to vanish like every modern carry gun tries to. But I wore it long enough for the truth to show up. And the first thing I noticed wasn't weight. It was relief. Not dramatic relief. Practical relief. The edges weren't picking fights with me. The shape wasn't digging a little reminder into my side every time I moved. I wasn't managing it all day. No constant negotiation with my belt. No little shirt check habit creeping in. I sat, stood, walked, reached, turned, and it moved with me instead of lagging behind or pushing back. That's when it hit me how many comfortable carry guns only work because we lower our standards. We accept rubbing, we accept pressure, we accept a gun that hides well, but makes us adjust, check, and compensate all day. The PX4 solved more than one annoyance at once, and it made me wonder why I tolerated the old crap for so long. But here's the part I still don't like. It made carrying easy enough that I started making excuses for it. I'd look at smaller guns and think, yeah, but the PX4 feels better. And that's dangerous because comfort could talk you into carrying more gun than the day really needs. That's the whole point of smart, not the gun, the one that from feeling like an idiot after you shoot it. Every pick list earns its spot the same way. It gives you more trust than you paid for. Not perfect, not magic. Just honest value when the hype gun's precious. If you bought the obvious pick and it worked for you, fine. But if you paid extra for a name and got the same performance, you could have bought cheaper. That kind of pain. Drop the pistol you expect, then couldn't kill, and tell me the popular you regret. And that top spot still bugs me because anyway.